All right, people, welcome back. Welcome back to another video on the Blue Lounge. We spoke about Romelu Lukaku, we spoke about Dembele in the last video a couple of days ago, and I really want to give you an update in respect to the situation with both players. Romelu Lukaku, lads, we said in the last video that it's unclear whether he wants to stay or whether he wants to go. There's contradicting reports from different sources, different standpoints. There's even reports that suggest that he has, or his lawyers have spoken to Inter Milan, and there's reports suggest that they haven't. Well, there's a little bit more clarification in respect to this. I'm going to be talking about that. I'm also going to be talking about Ousmane Dembele and his anticipated arrival at Chelsea Football Club and where we are in respect to Dembele specifically. That's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. Before I do that, though, do me that favor of liking the video. And if you're new, subscribe. Subscribe to the Blue Lounge. I'd very much appreciate your subscription. And if you do subscribe, turn that bell notification button on. I would very much appreciate that. Let's get back into the topics. All right, so Romelu Lukaku, lads, it looks like there is something happening in respect to him, and it looks very much like he is going to be back at Inter Milan next season. Romelu Lukaku is, what's the word here? He's trying to do it in a manner where he doesn't burn all the bridges while he's moving back to Inter Milan, but it does look like Inter Milan are keen to have him back and he wants to go back. The only issue is finances, lads. Romelu Lukaku is an expensive player. We're paying north of $350 a week for him. Inter Milan can't afford that. So he's going to have to take a pay cut to go back to Inter Milan. And it looks like Romelu Lukaku is prepared to do that. He's prepared to take a little bit of a pay cut to go back to Inter Milan, as well as they can't afford to buy him at this point in time. So he's going to have to go there on a loan. So Romelu Lukaku is currently, his lawyer, as you all know, he sacked his agent. His lawyers are currently negotiating with Inter Milan, and it looks like there's a meeting taking place next Tuesday. There's a meeting taking place next Tuesday between Romelu Lukaku's lawyers and Inter Milan to discuss the anticipated return of Lukaku. Now, there's a couple of things in respect to that. Now, how accurate, how true, how whatever, it looks like it's going to happen. Romelu Lukaku isn't happy at Chelsea Football Club. That is the consensus right now by many journalists. And him going back to Inter is the most anticipated, most expected outcome. There is talks about Tottenham. Just got to say that. Antonio Conte being at Tottenham, Romelu Lukaku. There's talks, there's a little bit of rumblings in the background in respect to that. Nothing concrete. Chelsea selling to Tottenham isn't, ideal, but it could happen. We've had players go from Tottenham to Chelsea to Tottenham. It's, Arsenal. This is something that does happen. We've seen crazier things happen in football. However, right now the talk is about Inter Milan. My issue is not should Romelu Lukaku go to Inter Milan or whether we should allow him to go to Inter Milan. My issue is if a player doesn't want to stay at Chelsea Football Club, we shouldn't force him. However, we do need to replace him though. And Armando Broja is not a replacement for Romelu Lukaku. We're not really doing nothing by bringing Armando Broja and having him being tasked to be our number one striker. Sticking with Kai Havertz for a whole season as our only attacking option is, again, not ideal. Chelsea Football Club will need to replace Romelu Lukaku with a new striker. If he is going to go out alone with an option slash obligation to buy from Inter Milan, we are going to have to replace him, and we are going to have to do it in this transfer window. So Todd Bowley, mate, if you are going to let Romelu Lukaku go, to Inter Milan, bring in a replacement. Have some funds allocated to replace him. And if you're not going to sell him, if you're only going to loan him, then you are going to have to, generate the funding for that. Somehow, some way, you're going to have to raise money specifically for a new striker. And there's a few names being thrown about. We'll probably address them in due course. Once I have my transfer show up and running on the 10th of June, we're going to probably be discussing the striker situation. So that's going to be a live stream, boys. Every Friday night, live stream with Andreas Christensen on the Blue Lounge. So if you want to get transfer news on a weekly basis direct from Andreas Christensen, you need to be subscribed to the Blue Lounge. Every Friday night, we're going to have a live stream where you guys can interact. Let's talk about Ousmane Dembele. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this with confidence. I think Ousmane Dembele is going to be a Chelsea player next season. I made a video a couple of days ago talking about announcement imminent. I think we're just waiting for a few more details, because it looks like negotiations have reached their they've agreed everything. They've agreed terms. They've agreed the contract, the fee, all of that seems to have been agreed, and a physical is in the works. And I think him being a Chelsea player is something we can all expect to hear about very, very shortly. So Ousmane Dembele to Chelsea, it seems like it's a done deal, and it looks like it's just a matter of ironing out some loose ends. The player wants to come. Chelsea want to sign him. This has been discussed for months. There has been talks about him potentially going to Paris Saint-Germain. He is from Paris. So going back to Paris Saint-Germain, to Paris specifically, is something he probably would not have an objection to. However, if you want to win a Champions League, if you want to be at one of the top teams in the world, one of the top leagues in the world, Chelsea is where you want to be. But Thomas Tuchel is where you want to be. And there's a lot of specifics that will attract Dembele to this Chelsea side. There's a lot in respect to the reputation of the club, the history of the club, and who is currently managing the club. Dembele and Thomas Tuchel have a lot of they have a lot of history together. There's a lot of good experience between the manager and the player, and expectations are high from both. So I think Dembele to Chelsea is just a matter of time, lads. And I know a few journalists have said it's a done deal and it's done. It's just a matter of the announcement. And I'm going to go with that. Ousmane Dembele to Chelsea is a matter of time for it to be announced. And I have a feeling he might even be announced before Koundé. Koundé is a player that we all know is on the radar of Chelsea Football Club, and is potentially a player coming in. And he is probably the most expected signing this transfer window. But I have a feeling that Dembele will be announced before Koundé. So let's see if I'm right. And lads, in the comments, I want you to tell me, who do you think Chelsea should replace Romelu Lukaku with, and why? In the comments below, I want you to tell me. I want a comment from each one of you telling me who Chelsea should bring in to replace Romelu Lukaku, and why you think he would be a good alternative. In the comments, do me that favor, indulge me. Let me know in the comments. I want to go back to one more aspect in regards to Ousmane Dembele before I let you guys go, and that is, if he comes in, who's gonna go? It does look like Pulisic is on the radar of a few, AC Milan being one of them, and others. I mean, I've read about him being linked to Liverpool and whatnot, but do you guys think that Pulisic is the one who will be leaving when Dembele comes to Chelsea, or would he be a player that Dembele would want to play with? Dembele, Pulisic together on the pitch. I don't know. What do you guys think? Or do you guys think he is the one? Hakim Ziyech. Love the man, but could he be the one leaving? Timo Werner. You see, Timo Werner, for me, probably makes more sense. Because you would replace his contract and give it to Dembele. Timo Werner is north of 300 a week. 300,000 a week. I think he's on 325. So you'd probably end up giving that contract to Dembele, right? So if you want to clear up some room in the contract, in the salary budget for Dembele, you'd probably say goodbye to Timo Werner. Again, in the comments, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. And lads, we have the debate show coming out tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is going to be a live stream with the panel debating all the latest and all the hot rumors and topics in this transfer window. So make sure you subscribe to catch that live debate show tomorrow evening. Have a good day, people. I'll see you in my next one. Take care of yourselves and peace out.